Happy full moon in Aquarius. Oh my gosh, how are you? Okay, I have some downloads and realizations and a little bit of story time. And so I'm just going to talk about it, and then I will put the replay up on YouTube and my Substack. So this full moon in Aquarius is like really, really fascinating because the energies and the downloads that I have been getting is basically that what you need to do and what it's asking all of us to do is to drop the patterns that have been keeping us in the past. Okay? So when we're talking about what to release, right? Full moons are all about releasing, but especially this one is happening in the middle of the Lionsgate portal, in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, like in the middle of all of these other planets going, doing their thing. And the biggest thing that comes through is just like, what are you ready to release in order to be the version of you that truly has it all? This is something that has been pounding through so many of my downloads just because of the fact that I know for me, I cannot wait to get to the physical new earth because this is not it. It's not it. So when we know that we need to get somewhere else, right? We're not dumb. We're really smart. And we are aware of the fact that we have to be a vibrational match to what we want, right? Okay. And then if you've been on spiritual talk, manifesting talk, like tarot talk, wherever you are on that side of the talks, you know that you just have to be a vibrational match to whatever it is that you want, and then you can have it, right? Or the Delulu girlies will call it like embody the identity of the version of you who already has it all, and then you can actually have it all because you become a frequency match, right? You like are of that frequency, right? So when, hi Alex. So let me get this download out first, okay? When we are wanting to be that version of ourselves, right? The one that has all of, and when I say millions of dollars, it's not necessarily just the millions. It's the ability to have a life where you're not worried about your rent, where you literally can afford whatever it is that you want. You don't have debt looming over you, where you are just feeling free to finally create the life and do the things that you want to do. Hi, Never Less Than. If you want to look at the book, The Psychology of Money, right? That book, it talks about how ultimately money is the gateway to freedom, or at least that is what people basically assimilate with it. So money is basically, everyone is wanting more money, wanting to be a billionaire, wanting to be a trillionaire, wanting to have a gajillionaire bank account or whatever, because you want freedom, okay? You want the ability to be able to wake up in the morning and be like, wow, today's going to be a really great day. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whomever I want, for however long I want. That is the highest dividend that money can buy, right? Let's have some cherries to like lock this in. So, when your bills are paid and you've got all this extra money, you can travel to wherever you want to travel to. You can like get invested in that new hobby. You can start like churning out the content that you really want to. You wouldn't care how many people were like, viewing your stuff or buying your stuff, or you weren't having to like make money from your side hustle because again, everything's already paid for. It's already done. You wouldn't care. But how you get to that frequency is the $1 million question. And that's when you have all the other girlies telling you, You just have to like persist until it happens. You just have to like, you know, subliminals, affirmations, like, you know, healings, like shadow work, like, you know, and they're going to throw whatever it is that they're selling at you. But what I'm really hearing and what the downloads have been coming through very strong for me, okay, and it's like been happening in real time because I'm going to give you a story time, is you have to drop the patterns of your behavior that cause you to stay in the past, that cause you to stay in the struggle, that cause you to stay in the suffering, that cause you to stay in survival mode. Because when you are stuck in that same pattern and you keep on doing the things that make you feel unsafe, that make you feel drained, that make you feel bad, that make you feel wrong, that make you feel ashamed, you will stay in that lack vibration no matter how many subliminal messages you listen to. That's just facts on facts, right? You can say it all the live long day, but if your energy isn't behind it, you're literally just forwarding the energy of, I don't have it, okay? So, I'm so glad that you agree. Now, story time. I want to give you a real life example so you understand what it really looks like through my life. So, Lionsgate portal. Now, the Lionsgate portal is not just on 8/8. It started, I think, July 26th or whatever and goes through August 12th. So, Sirius, again, like, it's so crazy the timing of all of the things in the planets. But what's really fascinating is, like, the portal opened and you really get access to information that can basically collapse your timelines and quantum leap you to your next level so that you can really be more aligned with what your soul came here to do. Okay? That's basically why this portal is so highly like looked forward to every single year around this time. And then 8/8, you know, August 8th, 8/8, 8, infinity, 8, symbol of money, abundance, wealth. Yes, please, thank you, more. Double tap the screen if you want all the abundance that you want in the world, right? An abundance of love, abundance of money, abundance of friendship, abundance of support, abundance of peace, abundance of food, abundance of clothing, abundance of whatever it is that you want, okay? Like, yes, 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 all right? Okay, good. So, in order to get that, right, like I said, you have to stop and break those patterns that are blocking you from receiving that. So how do you do that? So here's what happened with me, all right? Just to, you're going to enjoy this. All right. So for me, I obviously have been getting downloads about the new earth and about like my part to play in it and about how to get there and all of this stuff for the past like 2 years. Okay. And the way that they had been giving me the downloads were like puzzle pieces. Imagine like a jigsaw puzzle. And there's like a purple one, a blue one, a yellow one, like some with swirlies on them. But they did not give me the photo. So I don't know what the whole entire picture is. I don't know where all of these pieces go, and none of them are clicking together. So like, I'm just sitting here, like, just, I don't know, in this like holding pattern, right? Like if I'm in an airplane, just waiting. And it was really frustrating, right? And so I'm just trying to keep doing what I do. And no matter how much I ask, like I'm just like getting ghosted by the guides. And I'm just like, well, you know, whatever. So finally, and obviously I'm still doing my work and like blah, blah, blah. Finally, on Wednesday, so today is Saturday. So I think Wednesday, after I got my nails did, hi nails, okay, I literally, I mean, it came in like, boom, like the vision, right? Get the vision, hold the vision. That is one of my main jobs. So I got this massive vision and I was like, oh my Lanta, this is it. Now I see the picture, like what I've been trying to collect all these like puzzle pieces together and like, how do I put them all into place? I'm like, oh my God. So, and at first, now again, I know myself and like how I receive downloads. The first one, because again, I have inner vision. So I literally see it like a movie. It's like literally watching like a trailer to like, you know, Euphoria or like, you know, House of Dragons. And you're like, oh my God, this world. So I'm getting the download and like I'm driving. So I have to like, basically use Siri to like voice to text. So I'll be like, okay, make another note because I'm like driving and I'm like, and then usually it's just one and then it's done. But no, they kept coming, solidifying the vision, more details, to the point where it was like so freaking clear and visceral that I was like, yeah, like hashtag mind blown. All right. And I was so euphoric and excited. And like, I was just like on a feeling on top of the world just because of the fact that like I had been waiting for everything to click into place for so long. So I was so excited. It made so much sense. And I was just like, okay, like here's the tea, like blah, 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 blah. This is the portal that I'm building, like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So that was Wednesday, and I was just like, oh my God, ascended, a quantum leap, like, yeah, like how I was supposed to feel yesterday. So after all of that, though, I think, again, for those of you who don't know, receiving visions like that and receiving downloads like that actually takes a hell of a lot of energy. Because I have to be able to hold it, I have to ground it, I have to make space for it, and I have to shift my own energetics in order to align with that frequency. Like it's very taxing, okay? And so, like, I went to bed happy but so exhausted, and I woke up the next day feeling like death, right? And so, the next day, so I guess that was Thursday, right? I was like, okay, I'm going to like chill out a little bit, right? Because I need to relax. Can someone remind me? Oh gosh, no, I have like a thing right here. Hold on one second. To 9th. So yes, it's the Friday. Okay. Yeah. So I relaxed, I rested, I chilled out, and I was like, okay, cool. And then by the end of the day, I started to like, my frequency started to falter and I'm like, why am I not doing anything? But I got this big download, but like, I really need to do something with it. But like, I need to start like creating that new account. And like, I probably should be emailing my list and like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just started like wanting to like move and like, my body was like, bitch, you're tired. And I'm like, I know, but like, and so I was starting to get a little salty. And so I listened to like whatever, some kind of affirmation thing and like went to bed. So then the next day I woke up and it was August 8th, the Lionsgate's peak of the portal on 8/8. And I was thinking like, oh my Glanta, like this should be the best day ever. I love the Lionsgate portal. I've got Lionsgate portal meditations on my YouTube page. Like I've been waiting for this moment and I felt like death. Okay. I felt like death. Happy birthday! I felt like death. My body was so tired. I was so upset. Nothing was working. Nothing was feeling good. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to release. I didn't want to launch. And like the whole time too, my mom like comes and like is like, by the way, today's a really, really, really bad day. Like, or no, today's a really, really good day. Like tomorrow is going to be really bad, but today, like get everything done today because tomorrow is going to be awful. Okay. Like, and she kept on saying that. And I was just like, okay. And so I was like, okay, I guess I have to push myself. I guess I have to like sit here and, force myself to go live because, everyone loves the Lionsgate portal and like, I've just got to like post something or like, I've just got to like push myself and blah, blah, blah. And like, the more that I sat there on my computer, the more that I felt worse, the more that I felt bad, the more that I felt drained. And I was just like, this is not it. Like I can't do this anymore. Like I need to switch it up. So I decided to just like take a break and go and return something, right, to Target. So how funny is this? The moment that I left my desk and was like driving, more downloads started coming through again. The energy started coming back up, right? And I was like, oh my God, like what the hell? I'm not supposed to be working all the time, right? And I'm like, are you serious? Is this really the lesson? This is what I need to learn? Like, I just don't need to be pushing it anymore. Like, I don't understand. And so I felt really good. Like I went around Tarjay. I found, actually it's like still here in my bed, but I found like this super cute off-duty like point shoes, like, and it's embroidered like cut off like hoodie or sweatshirt. And I was like, that's so me. And that's locking in my new identity of like my new ascended self. And I was like, okay, bet. Because again, like when you already have it all, wouldn't you always be off duty? Like, yeah, you're welcome. Right. So I was like, okay. And then I got back. And then by the time it was like at night, I was like, I said that I was going to do a live stream on TikTok and YouTube for the Lionsgate portal. Well, the YouTube was not YouTubing. It wasn't working. It wasn't allowing me to go live. Thanks, Mercury retrograde. And then on TikTok, I went live twice. Okay. 1 just for downloads and 2 for TikTok shop. And guess what? Both lives were atrocious. Like they were so bad. People weren't even asking any questions. No one really cared. One girl who was like a loyal follower, like asked for a reading. But then like, you know, even on the TikTok live, like, or TikTok shop live, like no one wanted to buy anything. People were just staring. And then random guys were coming in and saying really rude comments. And I was just like, wasn't acknowledging it. And I felt like total crap. And I was just like, I can't believe that. I'm done. And so then I like go and talk to my mom about it. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Today was the really bad day to not do anything. Tomorrow is supposed to be a much better day for us. And I was like, are you serious? But here was what was really interesting. In that moment, right? I had been beating myself up, being like, why am I making the same stupid mistake of not listening to my body, right? Because my body was telling me, bitch, you're tired. You're still in integration mode. You just got one of the biggest downloads that you've ever had in your entire life. And yet you're still sitting here trying to work instead of allowing time for your body's like cells to like be able to integrate and acclimate to this higher vibration and frequency. Like, what are you doing with yourself? Your intuition told you to rest. Your sacral told you to rest. And you just like decide that you need to force it anyway because what? Like a timeline? Like, what are you talking about? Right? And so I was like, I felt so ashamed. That was really, truly the feeling. I felt so ashamed about myself. I was like, why am I repeating the same goddamn mistaken, you know, any like again. And then it was funny because like after talking with my mom, we were laughing about it. And it was like, oh, because she was like, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I shouldn't have told you. I said, no, it has nothing to do with you. I didn't listen to myself because my body was telling me to rest and I didn't. And she's like, those were the devils that the video was talking about, right? Like it was like the devils are going to come and they're going to try and mess you up. And like, so the devil somehow came and like, you know, made me tell you that it was today instead of tomorrow. And like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And we were laughing by the end. Like I didn't hate my mom for what she did. Like, and then I flipped the script in my head because what I got was, okay, you're going to love this. Okay. The download that I got was, why do you need to forgive yourself? You're not a sinner. You're just a data scientist. You're just, you know what I mean? And this was just research. And you just realized that you overriding your intuition doesn't help you. Great. Data point done. Moving on. And it was the craziest flip in perspective. And immediately all of that shame, all of that regret, all of that like frustration literally like flooded out of my body. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just a data scientist. I'm not a sinner. I'm just a scientist. Oh my God, that makes it so much easier, right? So then how funny is it? Today I wake up and like the energy is better. And then I just listened to my body and I gave my body what it needed. And then I posted when I wanted to post. And then I was like, oh, this feels like a fun post. This feels like a fun post. And it's like, yeah. So the easiest way that I can explain it is, and I just posted the video, but like, you know, Taylor's song, like I forgot that you existed. That's what it feels like when you have fully ascended. And this is what this full moon in Aquarius is trying to ask you to do, is like when you're fully ascended, that old pattern, that old trigger of like, I have to do work or whatever it is for you. Okay. Mine is just like, I'm a workaholic. Okay. So I have to learn how to relax. So it's like when I'm sitting there and it's like the brain or the old pattern is like, you have to work, you have to work, you have to work. Don't listen to your body. You have to work. You have to stay consistent. You have to whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't trigger me anymore. I don't get into survival mode anymore. It doesn't freak out my nervous system anymore. And it's like, I forgot that you existed. Oh, you wanted to try and override me again? Yeah, bet. No, babe. Like, you know, and I thought that it would kill me, but it didn't, right? I thought that if I lost that workaholism, that it would kill me, but it didn't, right? It's like nice. It's so nice and peaceful and quiet without all of that shame hanging over your head, or at least my head, like forcing you to do things that your soul is already intuitively telling you that you don't want to do or that you shouldn't be doing in this present moment in time, right? Because the fifth dimension is being fully in the present now, and then you are able to access everything. Does that make sense? So, my point with that story is this. If there is anything that you do today, if you do full moon rituals, okay, is that you need to, here's what I would recommend, okay? And again, take what resonates, leave the rest. Everyone's different. Everyone's unique. Take some time to reflect and see what patterns of survival and struggle and stress have been coming up for you recently, okay? Remember, Chiron 1 Retro, July 30th or 29th, whatever it was. So it's like, where's that wound? Where's that core wound? What's really happening? What's the pattern that you need to stop, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want change, you have to actually change. If you want to be like, if you want more money, then you need to do things to create more money, to attract more money. Like, you are who you, like, you are what you do, right? Like, because your choices determine your destiny. So choose differently, like embody different patterns. Stop like gaslighting yourself, you know, and doing things that just aren't working for you. That's not the way to the new earth. In the new earth, you're not struggling all the time. You're not having to work a 9 to 5. You don't have to sit there and subject yourself to suffer just to make ends meet, because there's an abundance for everybody. So why would you need to like do that now if you're really ascending to the new earth, right? So I just say all this to say that it's so funny, because I was like, really, really so upset with myself. And I'm like my own worst critic. Most of us are. So when you're sitting there and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, why am I doing that again? Or how come I'm doing that pattern again? Are you ready to release it? Because at the end of the day, you are only going to be able to ascend to the new earth if you actually like heal all of this patriarchal crap that they have inundated into us. So like, just take inventory, look at what the patterns are, and just really ask yourself, is me overworking myself? Like, for example, in mine, is me overworking myself and overriding my intuition and not listening to my sacral actually helping me get what I want? Obviously, the answer is no. So it's like, okay, great. Let's like not do that anymore. Let's actually listen to what the body is telling us to do, and then do it, and then see what fucking happens. And it's astounding, right? Because the moment that it happens, what happens? Everything clicks into place. Money just starts falling like, you know, so rapidly. All of a sudden you're in a state of peace and ease. You don't have to sit there and like stress and try to like convince yourself, because you already are. You are embodying the version of you who actually has it all. And then when you do that, then you fortify that enough so that whenever a trigger does come up, again, I forgot that you existed. Okay, and what? I'm so unbothered by it. And then once you're unbothered by it, whatever. They can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm fine. And then you're winning at life while they're whatevering. Not my problem, not my circus. Not my monkeys, not my circus. You know? And that's how you step into being the main character. And then especially because this is an Aquarius, like, let your freak flag fly. How has dumbing yourself down, watering yourself down, helped you? Like, not to be a dick about it, just like, how has it helped? It hasn't, right? So if it hasn't helped, then stop doing it. Okay, so what? You know? And then, like, the rest falls into place. All right? Okay, so that is my full moon message for today. If you found this helpful, if you found this the right frequency for you, and you want to be able to get to the new earth and live there and be able to like embody the version of you who truly has it all, please go subscribe to my Substack. It's in my Stan store. It's free to subscribe. And I am going to be launching the Pretty Profit portal, where I will be, you know, giving all of the new earth downloads, exactly, you know, what you can do to get there, what you need to transform, how you can do that for your own unique energetic blueprint. Like, this is not just a cookie cutter thing. And so that way you can come with me to the new earth too. And especially if you're someone who really knows that you are getting the visions to also help build the new earth, then definitely email me, because I am going to be launching an exclusive, I don't want to say it's a mastermind, but like a container and a safe space for those of us who are getting the downloads and the blueprints to like come together and really like make this happen. Okay. So you can get all of that in my Stan store link. And if you have any questions, of course, DM me or email me. Okay. Questions. Okay. We'll do some Q&A for a little bit and then I'll hop off. Limitless G. Okay. Do you have tips on how do you stop second guessing yourself? Yeah. So, I mean, it's different for every person, but I would just say, like, the first step is to notice which voice is talking to you. Is it fear, or is it, I don't want to say, I hate the word faith, but is it your fear or is it your faith? Is it your, you know, shame, or is it your soul? Like, are you scared? Like, is it coming from the scared part of you, or is it coming from your soul? That's what I would ask yourself. Because if the thought, or if the indecision, or what the worry, whatever, is coming from fear or your scarcity mindset, then you automatically know that that's not what you're supposed to be doing. But if it is coming from your soul, then you should follow that advice. That's how you stop second guessing yourself. You also have to learn how to critically think for yourself. So you have to learn how to hear and understand your intuition and what works best for you. The simplest way to do that is literally so simple. It's not even, it's so wildly simple. It's kind of ridiculous. Basically, stop doing what doesn't feel good. Only do what feels good. Only do what protects your peace. Only do what gives you peace, ease, and like, this is how I do it. I go, if it's not easy, fast, if it's not a hell yes for me, it is automatically a no. If it does not give me peace, pleasure, or profits, like prosperity, it does not exist in my life. I will not do it. So then it makes the decision making stupid simple. Now you don't have to follow, you don't have to use my exact one, choose your own, you know, standard. But like, if someone is bringing too much drama to my table, I will not pick up the phone anymore for those friends. If someone is continually gaslighting me, they get unsubscribed from my life. If someone, even if I love them and they are like not being there for me the way that I'm being there for them, I don't call them back anymore. I protect my peace. I would rather be alone and know and get all of these downloads and actually attract the people who are on the same wavelength as me than to sit there and like placate because I'm desperate for love. I can do everything by myself. I don't need anybody else. I would like to have people who are around me who can help me out, but I don't want it. I'm not so desperate that I'm like, oh my God, I'll just take a handout and then get taken advantage of and get people treating me like I'm a free fucking ATM machine when I'm not. I'm not here for free downloads. I'm not here for free readings. I'm not here for you to take advantage of me. The downloads that I get now that I'm really understanding the worth of the things that I've been getting, it's like I literally had someone that I shared part of my vision with because we're looking to see if we want to work together. And I had a call today and she was like, oh my God, like this is $1 billion idea. And she's like, I'm just honestly honored to even hear about it because this is some next level stuff. And I said, yeah. And like, she's even like, yeah, you need to be charging like this and this. And I'm like, yeah, it's just different and it hits different. Does that make any sense? Any other questions? Thank you for the gifts. I love it. Good. Okay. Any other questions before I go? I know this is a short live, but I said what I have to say. And again, this is what you call a shift in energy. I don't need to be on a live if no one's interested and no one has any questions. Then I know that like it's reached the people it needs to reach and the replay will reach the people that it needs to reach. And I don't need to like be begging. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a total different mindset. It's a total different energy and it's a total different frequency to know that you value yourself and that your frequency literally changes worlds. Your frequency literally shifts other people. So if you really can do that, then you have to know what your boundaries are with your energy. Oh, this. Yeah. So, you're going to die. So basically, this. So the fun story about this bill. So I was like practicing this reality where money comes out of like large sums of money just appear out of thin air for me and large amounts of money flow to me like water. And then that's just my reality. Like I don't even have to work for money. Like money just appears to me. And so I was like getting into envisioning that and embodying that and like what that would look like in my reality and blah, 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 because you don't always have to work for money. Like, you know, money is just energy. It's just it's just a current. So how funny is this? So I was like listening to this and blah, blah, blah. And it was trash day. So I went to go take my recycling out to the curb. And lo and behold, when I went to go and take my thing all the way out to the curb, there was literally a $50 bill just laying there on the sidewalk where I was supposed to be putting my recycling. And I like looked up and down and it's like, there's a street and everything. And I was like, what? Like, this isn't in front of someone's yard, you know? And I was like, oh my God. And so I was like, thank you, universe. Yes, money just falls out of thin air, appeared out of nowhere, and it was just laying there in the dirt. Like, literally just right there. So I was like, okay, great. So I have like the selenite. So this is a selenite harmonizer. So I have this selenite here to keep the energy of the bill clean and to circulate this. So while I'm sleeping, like I can literally just have like large amount of money just falls into my head. Like large amount of money just flows like thin air. Like large amounts of money just like flows to me. And so that's like my physical reminder and my physical proof, like anchoring it into my field. That is my reality because it happened. And I was like I literally ran in the house. I was like, Mom, oh my God, look at what I just found. And she was like, what? And she's like, where'd you get that? And I was like, it was literally laying on the ground. And then she was like, oh my God, she's like, don't spend it. Don't spend it. Like, put it up here and like, just let it stay there. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, let's do that. So that's how easy it can be. I literally found it on the floor. Oh, in the dirt. Like, I feel like it was from Gaia. It will multiply. Yes, it will. You're welcome. But you're right. It will multiply. And that's why I keep the energy clear. And I think it's really interesting because on the serial number, it's like, it starts at 1881. 1881. If you want to look at the numerology about that, one, the magician, right? Focus on make sure that you are focused on what it is that you want to manifest, right? You have the ability to manifest whatever it is that you want. Like, you can think things into existence. And then the eights, 88, right? Wealth, abundance, prosperity. So it's like 1881. It's a palindrome, backwards and forwards. So it's like you get the wealth that you believe you can receive. So the fact that those are like literally the 4 numbers, like 1881, like, explain it, make it make sense, right? So even the bill, like, the angels are like, yes, you're on the right track. Yes, you're on the right track. Yes, you're on the right track. Like, I cannot tell you, this whole entire week, it was crazy. This whole entire week, I had like, because I also like was summoned for jury duty, which was like so anxiety inducing. Like, this whole entire week was so funny. But it was like on my way to jury duty, and I have receipts, like, but on my way to jury duty, 555-888. Get out of jury duty, 888 on a license plate. The first car that I roll up behind, right? And then had to go take my mom to the doctor's office. Saw a car when we came out, 888 standing right freaking there. Actually, it was a 1888 actually. Okay. So I just feel like that is something where it's like, if you know how to read for the signs are there. The universe is reflecting back to you what you are putting out into it. So if your file is, like abundance, 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 wealth, 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 I am always wealthy, it's going to reflect that back to you. And if you're not, it will tell you. Talking about numbers that are the same forward and back, do you believe those are signs and synchronicities? Yes. In my world, in my reality, those numbers are signals from the matrix grid that I am on, that they're just basically like the way that, this is how I view them. This is how I view them. I personally view angel numbers and seeing them as messages from outside the matrix. So they're kind of like little glitches that kind of are in code so that the message can get through to you through the matrix so that you can break free. So, for example, if they came right out and told you, hey, this is a secret on how to actually get liberated from your really shitty life, right? They would get banned. They would get silenced. They would get taken down. They would, whatever, get suppressed because the people at the top want you to be controlled. They want to take away everything that you have so that they are the ones that are in power. So imagine when you actually liberate yourself and you're one of the ones that can liberate other people, you all of a sudden get attacked, right? So these angels, they know that. So they send you these messages and you get to decode them, because if they said it in the way that you really needed to hear it, then you would have already been liberated a long fucking time ago. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Thank you for liking the live. So that's what I believe, because I have personally found that to be true in my existence. Like, I've been seeing 222 and 2222 so much. And a lot of that is about keeping the faith. Like, you can't just sit there and like, you know, put all this effort into it and then be like, well, it doesn't work for me. So then you just reaffirmed your old reality. Well, great. Then how do you ever expect it to change? You know? When you get massive downloads and you're going through a massive ascension and evolution, your body is going to tell you what you need. But if you don't know how to listen to your body, then you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go. You see what I'm saying? Everyone has their own unique guidance system, but in general, that's what your feelings are. This physical body that we have is our compass. If it feels bad to you, that means that you're doing something that's not aligned with your soul. I mean, it's literally that simple. Make sense? Yay! Okay. Any other questions? Those are good questions. Those were really good questions. Thank you for bringing them up. Okay. No more questions? Okay, awesome. This was really fun. And like I said, practicing what I preach. So what I'm going to do now, where'd it go? Is I'm going to take a rest because I can already feel more downloads coming through. So I'm just going to read this brand new book that I just got in so I can like talk about it with my friend and like enjoy myself. Because again, the trick to getting everything that you want, right, is to embody the identity of the version of you who has it all. You have to be a vibrational match. You have to match that frequency. So for me, again, peace, pleasure, and prosperity. If it is not giving me that, I don't do it. This does. So I'm going to be like, yay, I get to be in peace. I get to relax, because when you relax, then you can receive. And that is one of the hardest lessons to learn of all. It is not hard to receive. And if you don't know what receiving looks like, look at all the dusty, crusty men who are taking advantage of their wives, sitting there watching football and making their wives do everything. Go on to like AITH subreddits, right? And you'll see they're the ones who are just sitting there receiving. They are so unbothered. They're just like, whatever. And then they just expect it to be done, and clearly gets done. So if you want that life, I'm not saying to be bougie and to be like, you know, uncaring about another person. But what I'm saying is that the state of receiving is to rest and to choose ease and receive, because chasing it is the divine masculine action. Receiving is the divine feminine action. So you need to receive. You need to rest. You need to, okay? All right. If you want to work with me, go check out my Stan Store. And again, subscribe to my Substack for free. It is very easy to do. And more intel will be coming through. Okay? I love you. Take care. You are the prize and you've got this. I love you.